number 9, an item which I brought forward and is agendized. So we spent approximately 2 hours discussing the parking in downtown areas, and that's a significant issue. I am bringing forward the examination and reopening of the Old Town Character Area Plan. And to cut it short, I move to request a work-study session to review and discuss the Old Town Character Area Plan with focus on various types of height and density, land uses, buffering, traffic, and infrastructure, and consider whether the council should initiate an amendment to revise and update the Old Town Character Area Plan. That's my motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you very much. I would ask for, did you want to speak to your second, Ms. Liv? Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Janet.
Either one of us, I'm fine.
Well, let's, I didn't see, go ahead, Vice Mayor. Oh, it was there. I was looking down.
Councilwoman Whitehead made that. Thank you.
You're the center fielder, and I missed it. What can I say? Sorry. Please go ahead, Ms.
No, I think it's a great discussion to have, so I have nothing else to say. Thank you.
Thank you. I see no other comments. We will, Councilman, I see Councilwoman Caputi has requested.
I just want to make a quick comment before we move it over. I do actually have deep concerns about this. It's not that I don't think we should talk about it. I just feel like we just went through this with the Kimsey, with all the folks downtown telling us that they don't feel that it's a good idea to limit height and density in the area where it actually makes sense. And certainly no one up here is a stranger to the fact that there are a lot of people in our community who don't agree with that. So I just want to read into the record a comment that a resident sent to all of us, which I actually thought was fairly interesting, and I just want to have it in public here. He said, I have deep concerns about the unstated but obvious intent of the mayor to move away from the draft general plan by raising the possibility of an amendment to the OTCAP. To intervene against months and years of study about the need for density zones, including Old Town, and its importance to Scottsdale's future revenues, defies logic and what has been determined by many to be the best course of action. Using city staff to try to build the possible amendment case amounts to fiscal irresponsibility. I just want to agree with that statement. We've all seen in this council that the downtown is dying. I think that the city staff and the folks on our boards and commissions have spent years putting together this OTCAP, and I think it's actually the strangest of ideas to think that we'll suddenly undo it in the worst possible moment. So I'm not going to agree with the motion.
Thank you. I did prepare an overhead, which was given to each of the council members. I'd ask for that to be shown on the public overhead, and mention that the notations as shown are indicated and noted in both height and the downtown area. Depicted are going up Scottsdale Road, encountering 90-foot buildings, and then 150-foot buildings on both sides of Scottsdale Road. Then somehow finding the downtown core, and or if you're coming southbound on Scottsdale Road, you would immediately encounter 150-foot buildings both sides of the street. This is part of the information that can be reviewed and properly discussed by all. I will, at this point, we have Councilwoman Whitehead. Thank you.
So I guess I would like to speak to my second. I watched the 2018 meeting that approved this change to our downtown 3 times. So there was a lot of talk about the need to exchange height for open space and to negotiate many benefits by allowing some height. And yet, what was approved was just the height. And so each time a developer comes to me, and my job is to represent the citizens of this city and to negotiate the highest quality development, but each time I have no tools. I have to beg for that developer to give what many of the people at the meeting mentioned that they wanted out of the height, such as open space. So I'm very interested. When I negotiate, and I'm here to negotiate on behalf of our residents, when I negotiate, I don't first give the person on the other side of the table everything that person wants and then hope that they will volunteer to give something back. So I am very interested in fixing this. And there were some peculiarities, and I think the Kimsey is absolutely the example of why I want to renegotiate or to relook at this and have a work study session. The Kimsey was a beautiful project that was not a 100% give to the developer. It was a give and take. It brought in the highest quality of project with open space, with pedestrian access, with design features. It gave us more. It was a fair exchange, some height for some community give. And it's very exhausting to have to negotiate every single deal individually, and this will give us an opportunity to start from a position of power, and then we can make each project perfect for that specific location. So I'm actually very enthusiastic, and I think this is the way to make sure that we're not any city, that we're Scottsdale. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Janik.
I, too, welcome the opportunity to look at this diagram and this designation. I think many of us have felt that that pink area along Fifth Avenue is very definitely misplaced. So I would welcome the opportunity to discuss that and definitely consider it. Thank you.
I see Councilwoman Caputi. You still have your button on? Okay.
I think that map is fairly misleading. I would need staff maybe to talk to that, but we don't automatically give the top maximum heights when a developer comes in. Is that right, Randy? We have a range that we can negotiate with. That was the way it was set up, so that we could trade off, as Councilwoman Whitehead suggested. That's the perfect scenario. We're able to negotiate each job based on what we're getting back and what we're going to go to. Is that right?
Mayor Ortega, Councilwoman Caputi, that's right. This map shows the maximum achievable with bonuses.
Right. We certainly wouldn't start in the absolute maximum. I sat on the Development Review Board for 3 years, and we never started at the maximum amount. I think that was the logic behind having a sliding scale. And I also just want to point out that, downtown is the one area in our city where it is appropriate to have some additional height and density. And if it doesn't happen here, I would throw out to the citizens, where would you like it to go? Should we put it in North Scottsdale or in a place where it wouldn't be appropriate? I mean, there's a few growth areas that make sense. My last point I want to make is that we just sat over the Kimsey and listened to all the downtown business owners talk about being affected, and we've also we're looking at changing land use up north, and we've had that same comment about when we change things, people are going to get upset. I don't know how we would go about changing these character area plans after people already own properties. I would want legal actually to answer that. It's a great question now that I'm thinking about it. How would we go about and tell the property owners after the fact, just kidding, you really can have that height? How does that work?
Mayor and members of council, the character area plans are component of the general plans. They're aspirational. They're not zoning documents. So how it would affect a particular property is hard to say, because it would be a hypothetical situation in terms of me trying to guess at what that circumstance would be, so it would be very difficult.
Well, then hypothetically, I'm just going to end my comment saying that I think we're going to unleash the wrath of fury from our downtown business owners and property owners, and we'll just leave it at that.
Well, thank you. At this point, I will mention there are 4 growth areas on our general plan. We'll be stepping into that next, including the Shea Corridor, the McDowell Corridor, downtown, and of course the 101 with all the transportation available. So to cram it all or think that this is our last stand for any kind of opportunity is incorrect. I call for the vote. All in favor, or register your vote. Thank you.